Welcome back to the channel, guys. I've retreated into the woods to film my video today. I love being outside. It's a wonderful experience. It's a beautiful day. The weather's just quite literally perfect. So I'm down here by the creek. The creek is behind me. I want to bring something to the forefront, back to your attention if you forgot, or maybe it's not something that you've exactly spent some time thinking on or considering. I just don't want us to forget about the victims of Hurricane Helene. This past September was a year since Hurricane Helene happened in September of last year. And it hit the southeastern portion of the United States, and it affected so many people across several different states. People lost their homes, people lost their lives, they've lost their loved ones, they've lost their livelihood, their physical possession. I know a lot of them lost their peace of mind. They lost maybe their happiness and their joy because of this just devastating natural disaster that happened as a result of Hurricane Helene. There's been a lot of video in the news outlets in the last couple months talking about the year anniversary of Hurricane Helene and what still needs to be done to clean up and to put these people's lives back together, these businesses. And it's just mind-blowing. You know, I was watching some of the footage, maybe that was yesterday morning, and I just found myself thinking, oh my gosh, what would I be doing right now if I was one of those people? What would I be doing right now if I had found myself in the middle of this disaster zone? The hurricane, as it was predicted, we were watching it here where I live, and it seems like at the last minute it turned. And it turned a little bit east. And of course it spared me and my family, and it spared my town and my community because of that. But just 2 hours away, because of that turn, only 2 hours away, it wreaked total devastation. It killed people. It devastated homes and families and businesses. And so a year later, where are those people? Well, some of those people are fortunate to God bless them. They've been able to get back into a home. They've been able to do necessary reconstruction. Some of them have been able to rebuild their businesses. And of course, that's a miracle. It's a gift from God. But so many of them have not been able to do that. And they are stuck in a place where financially and physically, they're just not able to do that. And I don't want to forget about those people. And I certainly don't want to forget about them as winter comes again. There are still people, believe it or not, there are people living in tents, living in campers, living in sheds, in less than ideal and unimaginable living conditions because of what the hurricane took from them. And there's so many things that go into being able to get back on your feet and get to the place that you need to be to take care of yourself and your family. And some of these folks just aren't in that position, and they are still reliant on the help of the churches, the help of individuals who want to donate their time, their money. And so I just want to remind us all, I'm going to put all the links in the description below to all of the resources that you will be able to look at, that you might feel led to donate to those resources. There's still Amazon wish lists for some of these resupply centers. We've talked about this in other videos before. When the hurricane happened, they quickly put together these supply hubs for people to come in their community that was devastated, and get food and get clean water and whatever resources and physical supplies that they would need, toiletries, etc. And so some of those supply centers are still there. Lots of them are still there, and they are still serving these people who are isolated. And I'll paint a picture for you. In Chimney Rock, a lot of the roads were just literally washed away. Not only is the pavement gone, but even a flat place, even remotely a place left to put a road, gone. And the DOT in some areas come in and said, we're not putting a road back. And you're just like, what do you mean you're not putting a road back? What about the people who live back here? We're not putting a road back. These people are isolated. They have been literally and physically, geographically cut off because of the physical damage that was done to the topography of where they live. There's no more road to get to where they need to get. And it takes so long the bureaucratic red tape that you have to go through just to file a claim on your insurance, just to have these, little steps forward to try to get things back in line so you could get your car back, so you could go to work, so you could get to be financially stable on your own. So these supply centers really help these people who are in a really bad place financially. And it's just going to take a long time. It's just going to take a really long time for these people to build their lives back. And some of them, they're never going to build their life back to what it was. They're just not going to be able to. And so that's where we come in. There's still Amazon wish lists for these supply centers for these people to come and get the necessary items that they need just to survive. Winter is coming again. There are still people who are going to be vulnerable in dangerous situations to the weather, to this extreme cold that will be coming to settle in the mountains. It's coming. Part of it is coming next week. Seems to be early to have 19-degree temperatures, but it is coming. And if it's going to be that cold here, it's going to be really cold there because that elevation is a little higher. Those mountains are bigger. And so we're just thinking about those people. I'm going to put all those links to the Amazon wish list if you so choose to go there and buy some buddy heaters for these people. I'm also going to share the Helping Hands ministry that we've talked about before. And that is a safe and secure place that you can donate money to. And you can guarantee that this money is going to go to the victims of Hurricane Helene. It's a squirrel behind me, just checking, not a bear. To build back their homes, to build back their lives. They're going to do their Christmas project again to help the kids receive a Christmas, some of them that wouldn't receive a Christmas otherwise. There's going to be a lot of resources to help. And so all you got to do is open that description box, check that out. And, of course, pray about it and give your time if you can. Give your money, give your prayers. That's the most coveted thing for these people. Just the prayers that they could get through this. And, that they could heal from the trauma that this natural disaster has left them with. People who lost their loved ones, people who watched their loved ones be swept away by that water. There's just so many heartbreaking and harrowing stories out there of folks who experienced this just horror of this rolling water. And I think one reason why Western North Carolina was hit so hard with this natural disaster is because of, you had this idea of mountains and then a valley. And there was oversaturation of the soil and the ground before the hurricane hit. We had a large rain event before the hurricane ever made landfall here in the Carolinas. And once it got here, the ground was just so wet, it couldn't hold any more water. And so it just sat on top of the ground. And the rivers and the creeks, they swelled, and of course gravity, there's only one place for that water to go, and it went down. And it come down these mountainsides, and it got down into these rivers, and some of them rose, 20, 30 feet. And they swelled out, I don't know how many feet wide, and they grabbed houses, and they grabbed businesses, and they grabbed roads and trees, and anything in their path. The water grabbed it and took it and churned it. You hear these stories of people talking about what it sounded like, what the water churning, all of that stuff sounded like. And I just can't imagine. And I feel so bad for these people who desperately need help. And because of this bureaucratic red tape government bullcrap, I feel like, I'm just being honest, I feel like they're not getting the coverage, the media coverage that they need and that they deserve. So people would know, hey, it's a year later. Yes, some people have built back, and that is fantastic, but a lot of people have not. And it's going to take years for some of these places to be restored. And some of them aren't going to be restored. It's never going to look like what it did. And so we want to be able to support these people in any and every way that we can. And I just want to bring that back to the forefront, bring that back to our minds, bring that back to our attention. What is going on in Western North Carolina? How are these people doing? I don't want us to forget about them. And honestly, some of them aren't doing great. They're struggling. They're not able to just get what they need on a daily basis. Just having clean water and a place to live that's not a tent, a camper, or a shed is a difficulty. And even local governments, we saw that last year, beginning of this year, even local county governments, unfortunately, haven't been as helpful as they should be. Some of them have stood in the way as a roadblock and a stumbling block for some of these folks to put their lives back together. And that's ridiculous. It's stupid. and it makes me angry. And I wish that people could put politics and people could put their personal feelings away for a minute, and we could just dive in here and help these people who need it. So we can. I can. You can. Before I end this video, I can't end it without mentioning Wayne from Deep River Farm. He has been an integral part in getting these people the help that they need. And he has never forgot about them. He is still talking about them. He is still being their cheerleader and letting everybody know about what's going on. Bud from the Appalachian Navy channel is doing the same thing. And there's countless other people. John Ward, lots of people who have continued to remember these people and tried to use their channel as an audience, as a way to get the word out to the rest of the world. If you live here in western North Carolina, if you live in eastern Tennessee, northern Georgia, you know, parts of South Carolina, even in Appalachia in general, this is still kind of raw. This is still kind of fresh, and it's something that is still kind of around, you know, fresh in your mind. And I just, you know, I want people to think, you know, what if you're in the Midwest? What if you're in the Pacific Northwest? What if you're in Michigan? What if you're in New York? Wherever you are, I just want to let you know there are these people who need our help, and we can continue to help them in big ways and small ways. Most importantly, we lift them up in prayer, and God knows their need. I'm going to put all of those things in the description. I'm going to put a link to Wayne's channel too, to Bud's channel. So if you want to continue to kind of get more of a specific look on what's going on, both of those channels will provide that for you regarding Hurricane Helene. Before I hop off here, I have a few prayer requests. I'm going to put that in this video. I have a friend here who lives in my town. I was texting her a couple days ago, and she just mentioned that she has something going on in her family right now. And so she just has an unspoken prayer request concerning her family. Please pray for that. God knows that need. I have a friend who looks like she's going to get diagnosed with celiac disease. She's been suffering really badly with a lot of physical health problems, and it sounds like it's related to this celiac issue. But she's been very sick, and she is not feeling good, and I'm very worried about her. Please lift her up in prayer that the doctors would just know what to do, what to tell her, so that she could get her health back in her own control. She doesn't have to be sick. She doesn't have to suffer. She could have a quality of life, and things would look up for her. Please keep her in your prayers. Please continue to keep Granny in your prayers. She's just not doing all that good. So please remember her. And we remember each and every prayer here on the channel. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. If you ask for, you know, prayer, if you comment, every night I say, God, I know I can't see all the comments, and I can't even remember everything. I have a mom brain, and it's very weak at times with all the things I need to remember for my son. So I just say, God, I pray that you would be with every comment, people who have reached us through email, comments, messages, phone calls, text, letters, whatever it is, things at church. I'm going to put that in there too. Every person who's asked me to come before Jesus in prayer for them, they're all important. Please be with those people, and whatever it is that they need, God knows your need. Whatever it is, He knows. If you have a financial need, a physical, a spiritual, a mental, an emotional need, He knows what it is, and I pray that He would be there and bring you the peace and comfort that only He can. Amen. And, you know, we take that really seriously, and we don't forget that. We won't forget that. We love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here on our channel, for making this possible. Please continue to remember the Hurricane Helene victims in your prayers. They really need you. And I'm going to sign off here. I am going to go to the creek before I head back up the hill home. God bless you. God keep you. And we will catch you at the next video.